Here we go. It is time for another sprint zone. This one's for January 30th, 2024. And the footage here is courtesy of Scott, as my camera didn't have batteries or they didn't charge. Anyway, here we go. And we've got Scott's telemetry on the top there, his watts, his 30-second watts, his heart rate, and mine at the bottom with my wattage, 30-second, and then my heart rate. And we make the corner, and life is good, and there is some pause here by everybody, which I think is good. It's wintertime, and we really don't need to be hammering, and I'm pleased that the pace is good. We see Elisa there in the blue directly ahead. We got Ethan in the HP kit. I slide up there with my HP kit next to Wolfgang on the opulent gold bike. We got Tony looking good in his new kit for 2024. And what do we have here but disruption? We get Byron all dressed in black, dressed like it is summertime, nothing covering the knees, and I'm pretty certain that the temperatures were in at least the 50s or whatever, which I had been wearing something. But anyhow, now things are beginning to hot up a bit. Got a good view here, everyone looking strong, no one at this portion riding too much above their station, as it's a pace that everyone is reasonably able to hold. And I didn't think there was that much challenge here this far, although I was tired. So looking at my watts, my 30-second watts, 213, not horrible. We got Scott's wattage up there, his 30-second, about the same, 208, 209, and it's not bad. My heart rate seems to be a little high. Like Garmin's been telling me that I've been overreaching, and I've just kind of been ignoring it because I just want to go ride or run or whatever. But this could be a result of me ignoring that. Cresting the top of this little hill, we got Carrie coming in the bright green First City kit as Elisa slides back, knowing that further back is better draft. But as I said before, nothing urgent here. The wattage is just okay. And I was happy with it. So I think I was riding maybe second or third wheel at this point, not thinking things were too horrible, just hoping and praying that the strong men, and that would be the likes of JC, etc., would think that, they had enough for the week. They've taught Zift with classes, they've done spin classes or whatever, and it is January. But this won't last long. But let's take a look at what Scott's doing here. So Scott is really well positioned here, riding well behind JC and getting some good draft. Oh, I've also included Scott's cadence and mile per hour and mine also. So Scott's is the bigger display. I figured it's his footage. I figured I'd put it there. And when I get dropped later on, we can see exactly what's going on. But things aren't too bad here. And you can see, my 30-second power, 96 watts. Not bad. And it is slightly windy. So in talking to Byron about this, it was like he was thinking that there might have been some PR set on this one. But there's enough of a wind, and even though he might have been throwing down some wattage, it made it pretty easy for the rest of us to kind of sit in because of all the headwind. No doubt the denser air, reducing our efficiency. I mean, just a minor extra layer of clothing probably results in 4 or 5 extra cubic centimeters of drag there, which would easily be measurable. In any case, looking good. Scott's wattage, 30-second wattage, 108. This is pretty pedestrian. And like, what is going on here? But I am okay with it. I believe this might have been the portion where Wolfgang had gone to the front looking good. So, or maybe not. Not certain who's up there. Maybe it's Byron, hard to see back here with the low camera angle. But in any case, we're looking good. No changes of position, and this is the way things have been since the introduction of the introductions of the supers. There isn't that much rotation. Oh, it looks like Ian has had enough, and the first selection has been made. But back to the introduction of the supers. So in the old days, they'd be rotating here. everybody looking at each other, everybody doing some work. But that is not the case anymore. And look what we have here. And this is what I feared. There we go. I thought this was going to be an attack, but JC is in fact benevolent, going to the front to no doubt give Byron a break. And I think I was third wheel here, and I was like, oh, great. JC's at the front. And this means the pace is still going to be high. And if I wasn't so tired, I mean, looking at my 30-second power, 120 watts, I mean, it's pretty much nothing. But perhaps the overreaching is an issue. And we can see my heart rate, and maybe I believe it. I don't remember if I had the heart rate strap on or not. 168 compared to Scott's 147. So whatever it is, my body is like working for this one. I do remember my legs like screaming because I think I had run the day before or something, and they weren't happy about this. So I was trying to keep a reasonable cadence. And you can see, yeah, looking at the bottom right hand corner, 105, 106. Yeah, there's my cadence. There's Tony looking strong on my wheel, and looks like this is where Wolfgang moving up on the outside, but pretty steady. And we're looking at the speed, 23 miles an hour, 22 miles an hour. And with the headwind, nothing crazy. But now things are beginning to hot up because you're looking at Scott's 30-second wattage over 300 watts. Yeah, and this is due to Wolfgang amping up the pace. Nice work up there. And I am forced to work. As you can see, my 30-second power above 200. Not horrible, but not pleasant either. But the group is looking good. Justin looking strong, casually looks back to see if there was any damage done by that little bit of acceleration there. And I know that Wolfgang is riding above himself, which is good, because a lot of folks are just sitting into the wind, looking to win a sprint zone rather than work hard. And it will help your sprint, assuming you're racing. But I think it's better to like work hard in some of these things, get all the goodie out of it that your body can use, and that you are in all of the zones, not just zone 5 for the sprint. But anyway, things are looking good here. I mean, pretty pedestrian, nothing to really talk about, no changes in position. And this is no doubt, as I stated before, due to the introduction of supers in the group. And in some ways this is good, and in some ways this is bad. We'll start with the bad. And the bad is the people lose the skill of rotating and working together and how far they can go. They kind of just sit in. The good is you'll work hard. JC and Byron will keep you honest. And that's a good thing. Now the speed is creeping up 29 miles an hour for a second there. 26 now. Yeah, we are moving, a ramming and a thumping. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm looking at this now, 30-second power, 220, heart rate 182. Oh, that's not right. Or if it is right, I'm hurting here, or something's wrong. Because normally my heart rate never gets up that high. So here we go. It's like Carrie making a move because he realizes how pedestrian this is. Justin waiting for his chance. I slide back, and at this point, I'm like, no mas. I've done all I need to do. And Scott is in an excellent position. He has learned the skill of surfing wheels and riding, and you notice he has not seen the front of the pack yet. So he is well rested. There we go. Byron looking good. JC just putting out some tremendous wattage. And looking at Scott's wattage, 30-second wattage, 470. This is crazy. And he's sitting in more or less. So I don't know what JC's throwing out up there, but if I had to guess, a bit above 600. Byron looking good here, and I don't know if there are any gifts to be given here. To quote the great Eddie Merckx, no gifts. And maybe that's what Byron is thinking, but if I were Byron, I wouldn't want Scott to beat me at this point. In any case, Scott's got he's got the perfect position. He's sitting in, and here we go. Yeah, Byron going hard, and Scott going hard. 600 watts on this one. Look at that. Impressive. Once again, his 30-second power has not dropped below 400, and now it's at 490. And it looks like it's game over and a nice win by Scott. well done and nice footage. I don't have anything bad to say about that. I mean, as far as like, if your goal is to win a sprint zone, that was perfect. Well done. And there's the thumbs up from Byron. Yeah, and as I had guessed, no gifts. And he's actually on his road bike. So I have to say, maybe the most improved rider from last year would be Scott, a man to be reckoned with. And I can see that all of the war and soar and other rides he's been doing have definitely made him a strong man. In any case, well done, everybody, and a good time was had by all. Next week, I hope we'll have my camera charged and be close enough to be able to see the action, because at this point I was not. There's a little look at the selection there, and it was good. Um, I enjoyed that one. Until next time, peace out, everybody.